Hey everybody, welcome back to Landshark Garage. This episode, we're working on a 97 Chevy Tahoe. Here we go. Alright, so this is something a little newer than we're used to having in the old Landshark Garage. Daughter and son-in-law complained that their blower motor was a little noisy, and then all of a sudden it was no longer blowing on any speeds. So being the good dad that I am, I said, you know what, I'll replace your blower motor and resistor so you don't have to pay a shop to do it. Follow along as we tackle that project. First of all, let's take a look at this. This is E71 97 OBS Tahoe. This was previously owned by a good friend of mine. He sold it to a guy. That guy asked me one day if I wanted to buy it. I knew my daughter and son-in-law were looking for a second vehicle. I knew the history on the vehicle. Had a little bitty accident here at one time that got fixed. But other than that, knew it was in pretty good shape. Got kind of a different package with these flares on it. These are stock running boards. Kind of like these are just the old original wheels that was on it. They had both, but they stuck with this one because it kind of looks cooler. Yeah, 1,200 bucks. We picked this thing up, drove it home. Been pretty good ever since then, other than this little blower problem. Kind of got a good, cool grill guard on it. Makes it look kind of tough. Got a bumper, has got the fog lights and stuff built into it, plus they added on some LEDs. 350 throttle body, Bore-Tech motor. Nothing exceptionally grand there, but it's a good daily driver. Does have a door shutting problem, doesn't always latch up. Gonna try and cure that with a plastic around there since I already have it in here. This is kind of gacked up, so I'm thinking if I put the plastic around there, give it a try and see if that'll help this door latch up a little better. But the guy who owned it just before us welded a hinge in there, which really plays with your adjustment on your door. So it is what it is. It closes. It just, you really got to slam it to close it. We're going to tackle that blower motor and the resistor at the same time just because, and then we'll do this latch and see if that works. Check the air conditioning on it, make sure it works, because it's been hot here in the old Dakotas. I feel like I got all my tools. First thing we got to do, take this glove box out, blower resistors up on top, blower motors down here. We'll get all the bits and pieces taken out of it so that we know what we're dealing with. Make sure everything we got is right before we tear everything apart. I'll show you the blower resistor and stuff shortly. So usually when you're having problems with a blower resistor, your fan only runs on high. The resistor is what, you know, makes it low medium. That isn't always the case in every vehicle. Sometimes there's vehicles that have that will just stay on continually. We had a Trailblazer that did that when it was 20 below out one time. Blower resistor failed on it, and it just stayed on. So if we push these tabs in, I believe we should be able to just drop this down. I believe. Could be wrong. I have been before. Oh, there's a little hooker thing there, isn't there? How do I get that out of there? There's a strap on the side. Comes forward and releases right there. I'll show you better when we get this open. Right here. And then that just pops right out of there, I guess. So we'll put that out so it's out of the way. The blower resistor is right up here. Right up on top. There's two screws that hold it in. I think this little relay probably holds it down too, so you got to take this tab out of here, and then we'll pop the resistor out, put it in, we'll turn the key and see if that made a difference, and then we'll tackle the blower motor afterwards. This has got a case around it we got to take off, and the blower motor's right underneath here. The blower resistor I know is right. I'm not sure on the blower motor. We ordered them from the jungle, so sometimes it's wrong, but we'll take a look. It probably is when you get underneath that housing. We're going to take care of this blower resistor first, just to get it out of the way. This is a 7mm. These little fasteners right here are. Got that little relay attached to it, and then that attaches back there, because I need both my hands. I've always needed both my hands. There's not a lot of room for a fat guy's hands to fit through there. Let's see if I can find a 7mm gear wrench. Do not have a 7mm gear wrench, but I don't know, maybe this will work. No, look at that. Oh, dandy. Put the old Milwaukee on. That's it. I gotta bring that blower resistor out. There's a long setup in there. And it almost looks like we're gonna have to unplug it first. Alright, so I got the blower resistor out, which was no small feat, as there is not a lot of room in there. Hopefully, the new one off of the Zon. Yeah, see, this is how it's supposed to look. This is how it looked when it came out. But just got to get this to drop back down in there and then plug it back in, and we should be okay. Had to kind of bend things to get it out of there. If you know a better way of doing that, drop a comment down below so somebody knows, because there was not enough room to pull this up out of the plenum and get it around, and it was very hard to unplug that until you had it out of the plenum. Hopefully it won't be as hard to plug back in. Either that or I'm gonna have to go get Mrs. L and use some small hands, because these meats aren't working in there. Drop back in there nicely. It's gonna sit just like that. So, I don't think I can do this with that. That's just too tight in there to try and show you how. But it's got to slide back into this hole right back here. So I'm gonna move this out of the way. I'm gonna try and gently slide this in there and turn it at the same time to get it to go in the hole and put it in the hole the right way. So I'll let you know how I did. Alright, I should have been a little more confident in how I was going to do that, because all I had to do was like just push it back there and it slid back, turned on itself and went in there. I don't know why, but it did. But now I see my wiring harness is stuck behind there, so I'm going to try and get that out. This bracket that relay is on has a slot in it to go over that screw, so you can start that screw first and then slide the bracket over it and tighten it down. And then there's another screw on this side, and then we'll plug it in and we'll see how we did. All right, blower resistor's back in and hooked up. Turn the key on, still had nothing at the blower motor, so I am going to replace the blower motor. That way I know those two are replaced, in case there's something else going on, like maybe this relay or something along that lines. I never checked the fuse. Let's go check the fuse. So this is just a sound deadening cover by the looks of it. It's got a little latch right there, right back here, that just slides over that. Got to unplug the purple wire and the black ground wire. The purple wire is power wire. Black wire hidden behind there is the ground wire. Pull that out, then there'll be some bolts to take out to drop it out of there. Give us a good chance to look inside that plenum and make sure there's not a moose or something like that in there. So I got the cover off, and it looks just like a regular old blower motor. It's got a hose on it. Got all the bolts. Take them loose. I think you kind of got to turn this one to get it out of there, if I remember right. But get them off of there, go over to the bench, get everything transferred over, and we'll put this in and see what we got going on there. This appears to be the original blower motor. Doesn't look like it's been changed before. There's a bar across here, right here, that kind of keeps this from popping right out of there. And I know if you turn it one way or the other, sometimes she just rolls right out. But not always. There we go. I don't see anything in that mouse nest wise. Oh yeah. This thing sounds horrible. Probably the problem. I think they match up. You take these little inserts out of here, put them in the new ones, transfer this negative grounding peg so that the negative has a place to ground. This was put in 423 of 99. Alright, so the new motor doesn't really leave you any place to put the ground screw at. It's here on the old one. Look at that thing. Look at the back of that. Yep, that's shot. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. That's yeah. I'm just gonna pack this one full of grease. See if we can make her last a little bit. Yeah, it should. No, yeah. I don't know. I wonder why I was making noise. That's the part I don't understand. It shouldn't have been making any noise. Huh. Anyway, I'm gonna pop a little hole in there so I can put that ground screw in so it grounds good. I didn't like the way it screwed into this one. There. So then I'm gonna pull these little inserts out of there, transfer them to the new one. We should be able to put this guy back in. Everything feeling right. Everything looks about the same size. Nothing in there. Just gonna go like this. I knew you had to turn it someplace. So then that goes just like that. Right, wrong. Goes like that. So let those line up. Get my little handy dandy palm wrench. Should have had that in the first place. There. Well, let's see now what happens. What? All right. Now, do we really need that cover back on there? I say nay. I say nay. I don't know that it really does anything. And it does have a hole wore in the back of it from that blower motor. Yeah, that's not going back on. I think it'll be fine. It's fine. Let's put our glove box back together. Might as well see how the AC works since we're here. Well, the AC seems to be working good. Put a little Berryman's in the gas tank. Did a little fine tuning. This door wasn't latching right. Just able to get her to close and latch. It just, there was no room to adjust it, so it's actually hitting up in here by the looks of it. But I was able to just get it to close 65% of the time on the first try. So got that going for it. Like I said, the AC was okay, blower motor's working. I'm probably just gonna have to adjust on this door some more because it's driving me nuts now. Doesn't do it all the time. So anyway, to sum things up, we put in one blower resistor, part number 1503998. Got that off of the rainforest, fairly cheap. So if it fails, that'd be part of the reason. A little difficult to get out, had to do some bending, remember. Original blower motor finally gave up the ghost. I think this thing's got like 175,000 on it, but not a lot. It's unbelievable how nice the rockers are compared to other OSBs this size. Like I said, there has been a repaint just on this piece right here. Some old lady whacked him, but yeah, I don't think I'll ever let him sell this one. I think I want it if it ever decides it's got to go away, because yeah, nice looking rig. Anyway, show you this. That might have made a little bit of noise. A fan running, bumper for the 3+3, motor for the 49, all that stuff. Tell you what, this last month and a half has been horrible for trying to make content, because we've been trying to get so much other stuff done around the Land Shark Emporium here, getting some summer projects done, messing around with the grandkids, important stuff. Never forget, drive your shit, but never forget, always remember, family first. We'll see ya.